broadcast initiated by the Office of Behavioral Anomalies in Education, OBAE. Please listen carefully. This is not a drill. This is a mandatory classroom safety bulletin. All students, regardless of grade or school district, must follow the following protocol. Over the past 10 days, multiple incidents have been recorded in schools across the state. These events appear unrelated at first. Scattered oddities, a misplaced backpack, a jammed clock, a wrong name on a seating chart. But it always starts the same way, with silence. Not the usual classroom silence, not the kind you get before a test or after someone asks a weird question. No. This is the kind that makes you feel like you forgot how to breathe, like your ears are ringing. But only on the inside. You'll look around. At first, nothing will seem off. Your teacher will still be standing at the front. Your classmates will still be seated. The board will still have the date. But something's wrong. Too still. Too synchronized. You might drop your pencil. If no one hears it hit the floor, you're already in danger. Your first instinct will be to whisper to the person next to you, "Don't." If they're already staring straight ahead, if they're not blinking, stay quiet. You'll want to stand, to leave. But your legs will feel heavy. It's not fear. It's the classroom trying to hold you in place. One student from Riverview High said she suddenly noticed her teacher had been smiling for a full 5 minutes, without moving. The same smile. No blinking, no speaking, no breathing. When she tried to raise her hand, the teacher turned toward her, still smiling, still silent. And then everyone else in the room turned too. She screamed. The room swallowed it. When the principal arrived, the class was back to normal. Except for her. She'd carved her name into the side of her desk 3 times, except the letters were backward and glowing faintly red. She was marked present the next day. But her seat was empty, her books stacked neatly, her water bottle half full, and no one could remember what she looked like. If the classroom clock hasn't ticked in more than 60 seconds, check your phone. If your phone also shows no change, stop moving. You've been pulled into a localized anomaly. Try to remember the last sentence your teacher said. If it's repeating exactly in the same tone, with the same pauses, 3 times or more, it's not your teacher anymore. Do not respond. Do not react. Look down. Stay still. Let it cycle. It will lose interest if it thinks you didn't hear. If it doesn't, you may already be seen. Substitute teachers should follow strict onboarding procedures. If one appears in your classroom that no one remembers requesting, do not speak to them. There have been reports of subs who appear mid-lesson. No announcement, no attendance check, no ID badge, just standing there, smiling. One such incident occurred at Eastmore Middle School. Students reported that their substitute walked in through the back wall, not the door, the wall. When questioned, he said his name was Mr. Repeat. He asked students their names, but only after each had spoken did he write the names down, before they said them. He smiled wider when they asked how he knew. 2 students went missing that day. Their lockers were sealed from the inside. Neither had parents listed in the system anymore. If you ever walk into class and your test paper already has your name filled out, stop. Look around. If no one else is writing but you hear scribbling, stand slowly. Look at your own hand. If it's moving without your command, let go of the pencil. Do not read what was written. Destroy the paper immediately, if possible. Some students reported the handwriting matched theirs, but the answers were about events that hadn't happened yet. Birthdays that weren't theirs. Injuries they hadn't received. Apologies they never made. One student read her own obituary. She laughed, then cried, then disappeared. If you are asked to stay after class alone, refuse. Even if they say it's about your grade. Even if they say your parent was contacted. Your teacher may insist. They may block the door. They may smile. Do not engage. Do not speak. Wait until they blink. When they do, run. They don't blink often. Sometimes only once every 12 minutes. Sometimes never. If your teacher has gone more than 15 minutes without blinking, notify your classmates. If your classmates are no longer blinking either, you're the last one left. You may begin to notice things outside the classroom too. Hallways that seem longer than usual, lockers numbered out of sequence, staircases that go down longer than the building's blueprint allows. Do not follow the staircase, especially if the lights flicker in sync with your heartbeat. If the janitor makes eye contact with you for longer than 5 seconds, turn around. Some of them have started mimicking students. Poorly. They get the clothes right, sometimes even the voice, but not the eyes, never the eyes. Classrooms aren't just rooms anymore, they're containers. Sometimes you're the student. Sometimes you're the experiment. Sometimes you're the lesson. If your name is called during roll call in a voice that doesn't sound quite human, too slow, too cheerful, like someone practicing speech through a radio, do not answer. Do not move. Do not look up. Look at your desk. Pretend to search for your pen. Count the scratches on the wood. Recite your birthday silently. Anything to keep your eyes low, because if you make eye contact, it smiles wider. And when it smiles too wide, you stop existing. Not all at once. Just little things first. You forget your favorite color. Then your locker combination. Then your last name. Then your reflection. And when the final bell rings, you stay seated. Not because you forgot, but because you were never enrolled to begin with. Broadcast continued by the Office of Behavioral Anomalies in Education, OBAE. If you're hearing this, it may already be too late. We've received updates. More students have disappeared, but they aren't reported missing. Their names still appear in the system. Their chairs still have warm indentations. Their parents still get newsletters. Only difference? No one remembers them. Not even themselves. That's the final stage. You won't scream. You won't run. You'll just stop being. Let us make this perfectly clear. If you ever see your teacher outside of school grounds, at the gas station, in the grocery store, parked on a street with the engine off, that's not your teacher. They are built for the classroom. That's where the programming runs clean. Fluorescent lights, lined desks, the sound of bells. But outside of that, they begin to leak. You'll notice small errors. They call you by your student ID instead of your name. Their smiles glitch. Wide, then flat, then wide again. They blink too slowly, or not at all. If you wave at them and they don't wave back, good, you're still safe. If they do wave, run. There was a report from a senior named Jacob. He saw his biology teacher standing motionless in the rain. No umbrella, no bag, just staring. For 47 minutes. Later that day, she was seen on school cameras walking back into the building, dry. She'd never signed out, never left the classroom. But Jacob swore she looked at him through the foggy glass of his car window. Her mouth twitched, like it was trying to remember how to move, like something inside was practicing wearing her skin. Jacob didn't show up the next morning. People say he transferred, but no one remembers his locker combination, or what he looked like, or if there was ever a Jacob. You may ask, why me? Why my class? Because you noticed. Because you looked up when they smiled too long. Because you listened when they whispered your name from the hallway. Because you read this bulletin all the way through. And now, you're marked. Test protocol #33. If you see a teacher on the street, calmly ask them, what grade do you teach? If they pause for longer than 2 seconds, start walking. If they ask the question back to you, don't answer. Don't even blink. If their smile doesn't drop while speaking, they've already recognized you, which means something else is looking through them, which means the version of them in class tomorrow won't be the same. It will sit at the desk. It will write on the board. It will call your name, and it will wait for you to smile back. Some students have reported being followed through the halls by people who look exactly like them, not just in clothing, but face, voice, mannerisms. These doubles don't speak. They don't break eye contact. They stop walking when you stop. If you turn the corner and find yourself already standing there, do not blink. One student tried to touch their double. The moment their fingers met, the lights flickered, and when they came back on, only one version remained. We don't know which one, and neither does he. More anomalies have appeared in school infrastructure. The mirrors in the bathrooms now show different classrooms. The library clocks are stuck at 11:11, even when your phone says it's 2:30. The fire alarms ring and no one moves, because everyone knows not to. If you move when it rings, the exit might not lead outside. It might lead back in, to a version of the school that wants you to stay. If you begin to feel the air get heavier, if your ears pop like you've gone underwater, if the loudspeaker crackles and you hear your own voice from yesterday, do not reply. They're using your voice to lure someone else in. Or maybe they're testing how well you remember yourself. Because when you forget enough, they replace you. One class found their classmate sitting quietly at her desk, except she'd been absent all week, except her family moved 2 states away. They called her name. She looked up. She blinked once, and then she smiled. Too wide, too rehearsed, like her face didn't quite fit. No one has spoken to her since. Important final warning. If at any moment you feel like you're being watched while alone in class, don't turn around. They're not always behind you. Sometimes they're already inside you. You'll know when the thoughts in your head start using words you never learned, when you answer questions before they're asked, when you start dreaming about hallways you've never seen, but somehow recognize. That's when they know you're ready to be filed, cataloged, shelved. The following steps may help delay replacement. 1. Carry something truly yours. A photo, a note you wrote at age 9, a broken item that can't be duplicated. 2. Never eat food from the cafeteria if it tastes like ash. 3. Always count the number of windows in your classroom. If one disappears, say nothing. 4. If you feel an itch behind your eye, like something just moved in your skull, get to sunlight immediately. We've done all we can. If you're still hearing this message, you have not yet been taken, but you are being studied. They do not always come fast. They do not always come loud. Sometimes they wait. Behind the desk, in the mirror, inside the voice that calls your name during morning roll. And when you respond, when you smile politely, that's when they move. This has been an emergency transmission from the Office of Behavioral Anomalies in Education. This message will not repeat. Do not share. Do not speak of this out loud. Do not return to class if the bell rings early. If they're still smiling when everyone else has left, you're no longer in school. You're inside something else, and it's wearing your teacher's face.